Trump just announced he's banning Wall Street from buying single-family homes. Blackstone stock tanked. American homes for rent dropped 6%. The PHLX housing index had its worst day since November. But here's what not many people are talking about. This might not solve a problem at all. Let me walk you through what's actually happening here. Trump says he's taking immediate action to stop institutional investors from buying single-family homes. His reasoning, people live in homes, not corporations, and he's asking Congress to make it a law. Sounds fantastic on paper. Wall Street firms like Blackstone have been buying up thousands of homes since 2008. They turned rental housing into an asset class. And yes, they've been blamed for driving up rents and reducing housing supply in certain markets across the country. But here's where it gets interesting. According to Blackstone's own research, institutional investors own 0.5% of all single-family homes in the United States. Half of 1%. So if Wall Street only controls a tiny fraction of rental homes, who owns the rest? It's mom and pop investors, individual landlords, people with 1, 2, maybe even 10 properties scattered across town. And that's the question nobody's asking. Will this ban actually change anything for renters and buyers? Think about it. If you block Blackstone from buying homes, you're not reducing the demand. You're just shifting who gets to compete for those properties. Mom and pop investors are still out there. They're still buying. They're still raising rents when the market allows it. They're still treating housing like a commodity it's become. And let's be honest, housing is a commodity now, and it's been that way for years. You can't sell a house like you sell stock. Just ask anyone who's been sitting on the market for 90 days watching their time on the market climb. Houses aren't liquid. They're not easy to move, but they're still being bought and sold based on yield, appreciation, potential, and cash flow. So banning Wall Street might feel good politically, but does it actually solve the affordability crisis? I don't think so. And here's why. If institutional investors step back, smaller investors will fill that void. They'll pick up more inventory, they'll compete harder for deals, and they'll still charge market rent because, well, that's what the market will bear. Rents don't go down just because the landlords changed names. Now, let's talk about build-to-rent communities. These are entire neighborhoods built specifically to be rentals. BTR properties. Wall Street loves them. They're buying up huge tracts of land, building hundreds of units, and renting them out from day one. If the Trump's ban goes through, does that stop build to rent? Or does it just push those projects into a different structure? My guess, build to rent blows through the roof. Because if you can't buy existing homes, you'll just build new ones, and you'll build them at scale, and that's where the real money is anyway. So instead of Wall Street buying homes in your neighborhood, they're building entire rental communities on the edge of town. Same outcome, different address, and here's another political angle. And let's say it out loud. Midterm elections are just around the corner. Trump's approval numbers have been sliding as Americans worry about the economy. Shelter cost inflation hit 8.2 during the pandemic. It's down to 3% now, but people still feel it. This announcement, it's a headline. It's a move that sounds bold and gets attention, but the legalities are murky at best. Trump didn't detail what authority he's using to impose this ban. He didn't explain how it would work or what form it would actually take. The White House hasn't commented. Congress hasn't acted. So is this real policy or just political theater? Well, I genuinely think it's a little bit of both. Look, I'm not defending Wall Street in any form or fashion. Institutional landlords have absolutely created problems in markets across the country. When one company owns 30% of the rentals in a zip code, that's a problem. They can set prices, they can squeeze tenants, they can make it nearly impossible for first-time buyers to compete at all. But let's not pretend that banning Blackstone suddenly makes housing affordable again. The real issue is supply. We're not building enough affordable homes. We haven't been for decades. And the homes we're building right now, they're expensive. They're targeting move-up buyers, luxury renters, not first-time buyers or working families. If you want to fix housing affordability, you need to build more affordable homes. You need to make it easier and cheaper to develop. You need to reduce the regulatory burden that adds tens of thousands of dollars to every new construction project. Banning Wall Street doesn't do any of that. It just shifts the players on the field. So here's what I'm actually watching. Will this ban actually pass Congress? What will the legal challenges look like? How will institutional investors restructure to get around it? And most importantly, will mom and pop investors step in and do the exact same thing Wall Street was doing, just on a little bit smaller scale? Because if the answer to that last question is yes, then we haven't solved anything. We've just changed the name on the deed. Housing has become a commodity, and that's the reality. And until we address the supply side of the equation, prices and rents are going to stay high no matter who's buying. I applaud Trump for making a bold move, and it's an attention-grabbing headline, and it's probably going to make for great campaign talking points. But will it actually help the family trying to buy their first home in Cherokee County? Or the renter watching their lease renewal jump another $200 a month? I'm just not convinced at this particular point. It's too early to tell. What do you think? Is banning Wall Street the answer, or are we just missing the bigger picture altogether? That, my friends, is another Guaranteed video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll see you next week.